What did your sibling do that made you realize they were a monster? I was away at college when my phone exploded with messages. 3 masked men had broken into our house. Mom was dead. Dad was in a coma with a bullet in his face. Jamie had survived, found tied to the upstairs banister. The whole community rallied around sweet Jamie. Teachers praised her strength. Friends started fundraisers. She'd managed to call 911 despite being bound, her trembling voice on the recording breaking hearts across our suburb. Our parents had escaped poverty in India for the American dream, and now their golden daughter and son was all that remained. But something felt off about that night. Little things that didn't add up. The robbers took $3,500 but left Mom's jewelry untouched, ignored Dad's Rolex. 2 luxury cars in the garage, not stolen. What kind of thieves execute people for pocket change then leave the real valuables behind? Even the detective seemed puzzled, asking Jamie the same questions over and over. The first crack came when Jamie had demonstrated to police how she'd called 911 with her hands tied behind her back. But when they tested it with her flip phone, even the officers struggled to make it work. Still, she was the grieving daughter. Nobody pushed too hard. 3 weeks later, Dad woke up from his coma. We all held our breath, hoping he'd recover. He could barely speak through his injuries, but he was alive. That's when things started to unravel. Something's wrong, he whispered to me during a visit. About that night, about Jamie. Detectives returned with more questions. They'd noticed oddities in the 911 call. Why hadn't Dad checked on Jamie when he escaped the basement? Why did Jamie sound so calm at certain moments? They started digging deeper into our perfect family. Jamie hadn't attended pre-med classes in 2 years. Every report card, every dean's list letter, even her acceptance to medical school, all forged. She'd been living with her boyfriend Marcus, a drug dealer our parents had forbidden her from seeing. She'd created an entire fake life, complete with textbooks she'd highlight and stories about professors who didn't exist. Our parents had discovered her deception weeks before the attack. They went full lockdown. No car, no phone, no leaving the house except for violin lessons. They gave her an ultimatum: give up Marcus and return to school or leave forever. The investigation intensified. Police found text messages on Jamie's phone, coded conversations with unknown numbers, references to, quote, the plan. One message sent the night of the murder simply read, VIP access. Security footage from across the street revealed something chilling. At exactly 10:47 p.m., Jamie's bedroom light flipped on and off. 30 seconds later, 3 figures approached our front door. They didn't break in. Someone let them in. During 9 hours of interrogation, Jamie's story kept changing. First, she was an innocent victim. Then she claimed she'd hired them to kill herself, a twisted suicide attempt. But detectives weren't buying it. They kept pushing, armed with evidence she didn't know they had. After weeks in a coma, my dad finally woke up and dropped the bombshell that changed everything. Jamie wasn't tied up. He finally managed to tell detectives, each word a struggle through his damaged throat. I saw her walking around freely, talking to them, laughing while they held guns to our heads. She was directing them. The room went silent. Even the veteran detectives looked shaken. The truth was more monstrous than anyone imagined. Jamie hadn't just hired hitmen through Marcus's drug connections. She'd planned every detail, $10,000 to execute her parents. She'd researched for months, discussed different scenarios, even haggled over the price. She'd literally opened the door for her parents' killers. But the detail that haunts me most came during the trial. As Mom bled out on the basement floor, her final words were begging the killers to spare Jamie's life. She died, trying to protect the daughter who'd orchestrated her murder. Jamie had stood there, watching, pretending to be tied up upstairs while her mother died calling her name.